Hello everybody. Happy Sunday evening. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I'm really looking forward to inviting on Marcus Matthews, advanced clinical hypnotherapist and mind coach. I was absolutely fascinated by Marcus's story. I'm just going to be trying to bring him in on camera now, or he might want to join me. There we go. Sent an invite. There we are. Bring him on. How exciting. Oh, it won't let me add. That's a bit annoying. It does say I'm adding. Oh, there we go. Are we going to manage to do this? This is exciting. It says that Marcus is being added. So fingers crossed the tech gods are with us and allow us to have Marcus join. It is flashing up saying joining. Let's see, give it a second or two to work its magic, hopefully. Oh, he's gone again. That's a shame. Let's have a look. Let's see if that will do it. I'm sure we will get there. Where there is a will, there is a way. And it has changed a lot in terms of little quirks of doing lives and things. So it's been a little while since I've actually been on my main page with a live. I used to, for those of you who know, Marcus is here in spirit. Oh, how frustrating though, Marcus, to not be able to add you in. Oh, hang on a sec. Let's have a look. Yes. Let's have a look if that works. Approve. Are you there?
Yes!
Yeah, amazing. Marcus, you're just a tiny bit quiet to me.
Let me just turn that up.
Hang on a sec. I've just got this horrible thing that if I press some buttons, I'm worried I'm going to lose you completely. But no, there you are. You're still there.
Here.
All good.
I'm here. I'll sign if need to. Yeah.
I don't know why it's so super quiet, but that's really weird.
Is that better if I talk really loud? Is that better?
Yeah, really good if you talk really loud.
That's going to take some doing, but yeah, okay, no, that's fine. I will talk really loud.
Hopefully that's all really nice and clear for everybody. I was going to say, we're just loading up as well on our laptop. So if we end up looking like we're diverting slightly, then it could be for that very reason, just to make sure that we can capture any questions and things like that. Have got you on silent there. So anyone who is on live, if you can just let us know that sound is all good, that would be amazing. Yeah, that would be much appreciated. And so super exciting, because we know who might not make it tonight may well stumble across this on replay. And so Marcus, just a little bit of background, even for people on my page who might not sort of even fully know why on earth I would be wanting to do an audience with the wonderful Marcus Matthews. Basically, I love all things health and wellness. Really, like mind body stuff for the last 4 or 5 years has just been massive to me. So we're getting thumbs up, so that sounds good. And it was a bit random how we found each other in the local area, isn't it?
But I mean, literally, I'd just moved into the village. That was it. I was joined the local Facebook group page. Like, oh my god, another person who's into all this mind body kind of, and doesn't seem crazy. Well, not in a bad way anyway. But yeah, so it was it was nice.
Well, I don't mind being admitted to be a bit crazy around the edges.
In a good way,
generally. Yeah. Generally. So Marcus literally just put a shout out in the local Facebook group, anybody here into this kind of stuff, and I was like, yes, I want to know more about this person. So literally probably about 4, 5, 6, maybe, oh god, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago when we first met. Time flies. Don't even know, where has the summer gone?
No, well, what summer?
But I was so fascinated by your story, your journey, and how you'd got to where you are from where you were from. So because it so fascinated me, and there was quite a bit that sort of I think will resonate with people, even if it's not the exact same story. Yeah, I would just love if you wouldn't mind just to spend a few minutes just on that in itself.
Yeah, okay. So, as I say, hello everybody, Marcus. Yeah, I back in 2016. So today, by the way, a trigger warning just in case, because this story does involve some quite deep topics, and today is actually the start of National Suicide Awareness Month. So, back in 2016, I was serving as a police officer, and I'm ex-military, ex-police, and I was assaulted whilst on duty, which wasn't a problem. Um, but my mental health started to go downhill, and men don't tend to want to talk. We tend to just kind of get on with it. But I got to a point where I needed to do something, and I spoke, and it wasn't a great thing for me, because all of a sudden I got labelled not coping, got taken away from the job that I loved doing, and yeah, there was a bit of a rubber stamp. So that was okay. Let's close that door. Let's pretend everything's okay. Anyway, over the period of 2 years, my mental health went downhill, and in 2018, I basically broke. I was going to commit suicide. Something happened, and I broke. Got sectioned. Got taken to the Redwoods in Shrewsbury. Which is really interesting because obviously as a copper, I've taken people up there who've been trying to kill themselves, and I've been to suicides, and I've been to sudden deaths. As you do as a police officer. So when you wander into the mental health 136 suite, and you know everybody, you notice the looks on their faces like, "What the heck are you doing here?" And so from that, I entered the system. So I went from the person that was helping people to the person who needed the help. And I remember, I won't swear because I did swear when I said this, but I went to my doctor, and my doctor basically said, okay, we can give you some drugs. We can probably get you some counselling. It's probably going to be 12 to 18 months to see a psychotherapist or whoever. I basically got PTSD. And I said, I don't want any of that. I just want to know why the F I feel the way I do. Doesn't make sense. I've got a great family. I love my job. Why is it that I feel this way? Anyway, a couple of weeks go by, and you're now sidelined. So I'm at home, and the worst thing you want when somebody is in that state is that you're with your thoughts. You know, it's not great. So I started to, well, what can I do? You know, there's a part of me, I always say it's that soldier part of me that goes, right, nobody's coming to help. You're going to have to get yourself out of this. Anyway, a couple of things snowballed. I was trying to do meditation. I was literally didn't know what I was doing, but I've got to try and do something. Anyway, I found this lady. Her name's Marissa Peer. She's one of the world's top hypnotherapists, and she does something called rapid transformational therapy. And I watched a video of hers, and it's like she's talking to me. Now, I was in a very lack mindset, as many people are. They don't want to pay for good therapy. And so I read her book, one of her books, and in the book it said to listen to this audio download. And it was day 10. I was sat in kind of a cross-legged yoga position, receiving, like, when I even say this, it's so funny because I was like a copper, I was a soldier. So like to be doing this kind of woo-woo-y stuff is just like crazy.
To say, Marcus, sorry, it was that intrigued me the most. Sorry to break the story, but when I say I was fascinated by your story, it was when you said you were ex-military, ex-police, and then you were talking about what I love to call, because I love woo stuff.
Yeah,
woo stuff.
Woo worked, right? And so what happened was on day 10, my third eye activated. Basically, I didn't know that at the time. I started to see these gold kind of sparkles, and this gold sparkle went to like a big golden globe, and my body just started to expand. You know, it's that Kundalini energy was kind of kicking in. And then all of a sudden, all this energy came down into my heart, dropped down to my feet, came back up towards my crown, and everything lifted. And it's what I call my God moment. It was just pure love. And to cut a long story short, I went on a journey, and I should have been off work for 12 to 18 months. I was back in uniform. I'd seen two psychologists, both of which spent more time asking me how I got myself better. And then it did go downhill because I basically broke the rules. I wasn't supposed to be able to get back to work that quick. Therefore, people thought, oh, he must have been putting it on. Anyway, end of 2019, I decided to leave the police. And I trained. So Marissa Peer, I met Marissa Peer. She said to me, I want you to come and train with me. I trained with her, and I wanted to take it into the police. And that's what basically was the thing that I had to choose. I joined the police to help people. And once again, I was being told, oh, you can't help people. So I made a big, brave decision in 2019 to leave. If I'd have known that COVID was coming on 2020, would I have done that? I don't know. But yeah, so that's been the journey so far. For anybody who knows these kind of places, I'm also a Chief Life Officer with Mind Valley. So anybody who knows like the Mind Valley franchise. So I've done a lot of stuff with Mind Valley. I'm also a trainer for Marissa Peer. We're just I'm a clinical hypnotherapy trainer as well. So we're taking people through the clinical. And I will soon be, in the next 8 weeks, a hypnotherapy supervisor. So yeah, I've got my advanced clinical hypnotherapy through the GHR, but I've also done Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a big fan of breath work. Not that I'm qualified in that, but I know the power of the breath. But I'm a real geek now on anything to do with neuroscience, quantum mechanics, psychology, NLP. I know, yeah, I've worked with Paul McKenna. So yeah, that's kind of me.
That's it. That is quite a condensed story, but still the impact from soldier, police officer, now to be talking about things that,
Yeah.
like you say, is out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's an out there kind of thing, isn't it? In some ways,
Yeah.
yet. So if you're a little bit slow to the party, like I am, it's all cool. So my experience, or my perception, should I say, having had no prior experience of hypnotherapy, is probably a little bit basic. So I'm gonna guess that people that are watching, some people will know a lot more than me about it, and some people might be like me and have a preconception or a preconceived idea of what it might be like. And the sorts of things I'm thinking about, just to give you an idea, Marcus, although I'm sure you're already aware, and our audience a bit of an idea, is things like stopping smoking. Or I remember, a friend with vegetables and thinking, would hypnotherapy work? A bit of an aversion,
Yeah.
and things that people might be scared of, things that people kind of might want to overcome. I know it's getting much more kind of mainstream, and even in that space there's an awful lot more is happening than just that. But that's kind of where my mind automatically goes to when I think about hypnotherapy. So over to you to explain a little bit more.
I think the first thing is to say, what is hypnosis? So hypnosis is a brainwave state shift. So we're talking at the moment, we're in the beta brainwave. And when we go into hypnosis, we go into the alpha brainwave state. It's where our parasympathetic, we go out of our sympathetic nervous system into our parasympathetic nervous system. So principally, it's our safety. Imagine you've got a computer, it's full of viruses, and you want to get rid of the viruses. Your antivirus isn't working. What would you do? You'd reboot your computer and put it into safe mode. So when you go into hypnosis, it's very, very focused inwardly. So think of it like meditation, prayer. It's kind of a flow state in a way. The best way I describe it is, that moment just before you wake up in the morning when your mind's racing and there's all of those things going through your head. And then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you're in the room. that's hypnosis. That's where hypnosis is. And there are various levels going through to theta, to delta. I won't go into any of the science behind it. So the principle behind hypnosis is get the mind and the body into a safe space, and then use suggestion to try and convince the mind that it can make these changes. That's pretty much the basics of hypnosis, as you've just said. What I do is slightly different. Is the first bit, it's not this, I'm on a beach, my Paul McKenna voice, I'm on a beach and you can see the waves clashing on the ground, the sun, and don't do any of that rubbish. It's a very quick.
I like some of that rubbish, but go on, carry on.
It's a very quick induction. Okay, so it's getting the body into that parasympathetic mode, and then the next thing we're going to do is go into the investigation. So what I do is I'm all about root cause. So what caused you to feel the way that you did, right? So when we talk like we're talking now, we can access about 5% of the mind. 95% is subconscious and unconscious, and we can't open that vault to the subconscious mind without going into hypnosis. And this is where, although talking therapies are really good for people, it's really interesting, especially with men, because 80% of people in the wellbeing industry are women. 80% of people accessing wellbeing are women. 76% of suicides are men. Now that's no coincidence, and the reason for that is that men lead by action, where women connect through talking. So actually, women can do really, really well by talking therapies and stuff like that. Men not so.
And we're talking
generalization,
aren't we? Because I know you're.
Well, I'm going to caveat this, because it's not about vaginas. It's about energy. So anybody who's more in their masculine energy is probably less likely to talk. So whether you're male, female, whatever, however you identify. And so my big passion was, why is it that we only have one access to this? Reiki is amazing. There's lots of different things out there. So what we do is we're going into the subconscious mind to find the root cause. Once we found the root cause, what we need to do is break the belief. And a belief has two parts. The first thing is the story you tell yourself. 5%. Okay, this is what I know. But the emotion is 95%. And if you think about it, you don't think happy, you feel happy. You don't think anxious, you feel anxious. And that's why sometimes a lot of my clients say, I've been to talking therapy, but it didn't really help because I just went over the same thing. I didn't release the feeling. So if 95% of the driver is the feeling and you release the feeling, then you can comprehend the other 5% because you're not stupid. So what we do is we break the thought away from the feeling that's created the belief. We now drop the feeling. It's called the reframe. And then we create a new story and a new feeling, which is the transformation. That's the fourth part. And this is known as neuroplasticity. So for any geeks out there, there's something called Hebb's law, which says the neurons that fire together wire together. So the more we repeat something over and over, the more we can believe it. And the mind doesn't know the difference between good, bad, right or wrong. And it doesn't even know your age, really. And I can prove it with physics. And I know I've said this one, but I'll say it for everybody. So we've all probably heard of Einstein's theory of general relativity. E equals mc squared.
Just about from school days.
Yeah. Okay. So what Einstein says was, the bigger the mass of the object, so like our bodies have a mass, the more it experiences time. What is the mass of your mind? It doesn't have one. So a lot of the times we can be projecting our emotions or thoughts not based on who we are, 30s, 40s, 20s, whatever it is. It could be 6, 4, but we don't know that because it's subconscious. It's an automated process that's happening. So what I'm doing is interrupting that automation, and then by interrupting it, what literally happens is the neurons all over your body now start to rewire to create a new reality. And you can go on the internet. Any Joe Dispenza fans who are watching will know about this sort of stuff. And then what I do with the mind coaching then is that's great. So that's your foundation. That's your house of abundance. You know, we've gone into the foundations. That's all great. And then the mind coaching is about how do we then take this new version of you and then start to manifest and create a better life. So a lot of that stuff I do is somatic, and it's about how words actually vibrate in our body. So
is that what somatic means? I've always wanted to
yeah,
know.
yeah. So if you think about it, I'll tell you what, let's do a quick test. Tell me a word you hate. Keep it clean. Keep it clean, clearly.
No, I can't tell you the
I
first
know,
one that sprang to mind.
that's
It's
why I
not one
said
that
keep it
I hate,
clean.
but
I got
it's
that before
one
you.
that friends say. No, I can't say that. Oh God, I don't know. Hate. I don't like the word hate.
Okay, all right. Just close your
Yeah.
eyes. Now, what I want you to do is I want you just to say that word hate, 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 and notice how your body vibrates. It has there's a resistance against that. You feel it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now do this. Say the word love. And notice how your body changes. Notice how it shifts.
Yeah.
Now, let's go back to the word hate. Okay, watch this. Tell me on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is, I'm not really that bothered, and 10 is, I hate the word hate. Where is it? Where is it on there? Is it?
It depends on the intention behind
Okay,
the
give it
word hate.
the
If I'm
worst
just saying
intention you can
I
have.
hate, I don't know, sprouts, not that I do, but you know, that kind of hate,
Okay,
that's kind of like, yeah, it's right low down there. But if we're talking
just
about
think of something you really
hatred
hate.
between people, it's up there.
Okay, so give me a number between 0 and 10.
Oh, hatred between people is going to be like an 8, a
An
9
8.
or something. Yeah.
Okay, what I want you to do is, where do you feel that in your body?
Probably
Okay,
chest.
now, when you say probably, is it or isn't it?
Well, it's a little bit of a situation where I'm on camera and I'm probably not
That's
concentrating
fine. That's fine.
100%.
Just close your eyes. Hate between people. Where are you feeling it?
Yeah, chest and towards the sort of lower abdomen, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay. What I want you to do is forget the word hate. I want you to forget the word hate. I want you to forget the story, and I just want you to focus on the feeling. Okay. And now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that feeling as a balloon. I want you to write the word hate on the balloon. So you're taking that feeling, you're putting it outside of you, and you're writing the word hate on it. Okay. Now I'm going to get you to do, I'm going to get you to breathe in 3 times. And every time you exhale, I want you to see that feeling that you've got towards that word disappear over the horizon. Okay. So take a deep breath in and then breathe out. Just imagine it drifting over the horizon, nowhere near you anymore. Take another deep breath in. Breathe out. Just allow it to move away. One more time. I want you to see it disappear like a pin over the horizon. Okay, now go back to that feeling now. Is it the same, more or less?
Oh, I can't feel it anymore because I've done some nice
Well, there
breathing.
you go. So open your eyes. So that's my point, is that what we're doing is that instead of focusing on the story, we're focusing on the feeling. So if we eradicate the story, and one of the biggest challenges that we have, certainly when, I mean, I will put my hands up. I'm neurodiverse. Okay, I know I am, right? All good people are. But when we give people labels, we then start to manifest that. Okay, so when you went to school, you would have learnt spellings, right? You'd learnt spellings. When you put words together, you create spells. So the words that you tell yourself create a vibrational resonance within your body, and you create a belief system around those words. So what you need to do is that you need to take away the story and go to the feeling. Because when people won't like this, but anxiety doesn't exist. I can prove it. Okay, I know it does, but anxiety, thoughts in your head going crazy, right? You're probably getting on people's nerves. You get a rumbling in your tummy. You can't sleep. You would say those were things of anxiety, right? There were things that you would experience if you had anxiety.
Yeah.
4 years old, it's Christmas Eve. You won't go to bed you're getting on your parents' nerves because you've got this rumbling tummy because Father Christmas is coming. When you do go to bed, you can't go to sleep because you want to come out. Based on the feelings that we attribute to anxiety, every single child pretty much on Christmas Eve has GAD2 anxiety. No, they don't. They're excited. The only difference between anxiety and excitement is the story that we attach to it. And here's the thing. Most of the stories that we tell ourselves are not even ours. They've been passed down from parents, teachers. So when we start to pull all of that stuff apart, then it's relatively quick for us to make those shifts. And so what I'm doing is I'm breaking all of that down in a very easy way in which you can start to sense that, and it starts to, you feel more empowered, you feel in control, and we can take the labels off. You know, I say I'm neurodiverse. I only say that so that maybe I can connect with people who are neurodiverse, right? But actually, we know that people who are neurodiverse are normally pretty good entrepreneurs. You know, most of the people who've done something amazing in the world probably got ADHD, and they need to. And so the principles of the mind's job is to keep you safe. That's it. That's its only job, and it connects to what is familiar. So if you can put your body into a safe place to start to discover that and start to unpick all of these things, you don't need 12 months. I had one lady, she'd been going to therapy for 13 years. 13 years. Tens of thousands of pounds in therapy. We had one session, got rid of it.
Amazing.
Because she was focusing on the story, not on the feeling.
I would just say that I'm nearly there, because I've heard it, you know, in previous kind of walks of life, previous stuff that I've done about anxiety and excitement being a hair's breadth away from each other,
Yeah,
and very, you know, very similar feelings. I would say though that when it comes to, like, you know, me and not being able to swim and not being able to touch the bottom of the pool,
no.
that's no way
No,
excitement,
absolutely.
Marcus.
I've just been paddling today, and the last time I was on this river, I knocked myself out, but I got concussion basically. Was I nervous? Was I fearful? Yeah, of course I was. But it's how you use that feeling and how you flip it, you know, and where are you going to focus? Are you focusing on, oh my God, last time I came on this river, I flipped over and I hurt my head and it could happen again. Did I do that? No. Did the ego mind do that? Absolutely. The ego mind was in there going, remember what happened last time? You were a failure. You're rubbish. You can't do this. And so what I'm saying is, okay, thank you for the reminder. But actually, I've done a lot of work since then. This is what I know about myself now. And so it's about that self-talk. The ego mind is there to protect you. So where we say that anxiety is bad, where we say overwhelm is bad, it's not. You know, what is our job on the planet? It's to procreate. That, you know, it's not to be happy. It's just to keep, we're a virus. It's just to keep the species going, right?
I do love the way you phrase things.
We're a virus.
Like,
Anyway.
I don't say 100% agree with all like all perspectives, but I do like how you imagine life to be.
My point is that our job is here just to keep going. So if you think of that from an evolutionary point of view, why would we create things in our mind and our body that want to kill us? No, the mind and the body are trying to give us clues. They're trying to give us information. The problem is when it's in the subconscious mind, it doesn't speak language. What actually happens when you get that rush of cortisol as part of your brain called the dorsal prefrontal cortex, which is your social part of your brain, that shuts down because it doesn't need to do complex things like having a conversation. It just needs to go, we've got to run away, we've got to fight, we've got to freeze, and that's it. So that reptilian part of our brain is still in there, and it's doing a great job. And it's when it becomes overactive. And what we need to do is just reprogram the mind. You know, and this can be, you know, if you think about it, I found out recently, I don't know if I told you this, my mum and dad were down, and I don't know much about my mum's side of the family. Found out that my great grandmother had really bad mental health issues, so much so that she had that, is it the electroshock treatment? This would have been probably 1930s, maybe 1940s. And all of a sudden you go, no wonder I was messed up. because genetics do play a part, but your gene sequence can change. You know, you're not predisposed to the genes that you've got. If you create the right environment in your body, then you can do that. And so my 4 pillars are: you need to know what you want, or really what you need, why you need it. You need to be able to communicate your boundaries and your values, but you need to be able to create the environment. And that, you know, you do the gut health stuff, same thing. If you're not feeding your gut with prebiotic and probiotic, then you're not feeding the farm of bacteria in there that are going to really help your stomach. And like 50% of serotonin is created in the gut. It's called the second brain. I think it's the first brain, if I'm honest. You know, but all of these.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
Yeah,
with you there.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
my
But,
bedrock
yeah,
over the last couple of
but
years.
this is my point. So all of these neurotransmitters that are going on between, you know, your stomach, your heart, your lungs, your brain, all that stuff is connected. They're not separate.
No.
So, but why is it that gut health is important? Well, what do? You create the environment for all that bacteria in there to do their job. The mind is the same. You have to create the environment in the mind to now start to allow these neurons to start breaking apart old beliefs and start to fire new ones. No different. It's the same thing. It's just one happens here.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. And I'm all about the brain gut connection
Absolutely.
as well, and bringing the
Yeah.
two together and creating the new story.
Yeah.
So if people are a little bit intrigued by what you're saying, because I'm conscious for anyone who hasn't caught it but want to catch up on replay, I could listen and chat and ask
Well, we did,
questions all night.
didn't we? When we first met, it was like 2 hours later. It was like, wait a minute, we've got people that we need to go and
go home to like 2 hours later. Yeah. Yeah, fun. So we literally could. So before I run away with wanting to ask any more questions and things, I'm just thinking this is like being a little starter for Tan, a little introduction to you.
Yeah.
You happen to be in the local area to Four Crosses in Paris. That's quite a big area. Welshpool, Shrewsbury, all of those areas. But you're also you're able to do stuff virtually, aren't you?
Yeah.
How do people find out more about what you do and how you operate if they've got a little bit of interest?
So my website is makeyourlifecount.co.uk.
Say that
I'm
again slowly.
Make Your Life Count.
Make Your Life Count.
.co.uk.
.co.uk.
I'm all over
We'll pop it in.
I'm all over social media. So at Marcus A. Matthews, pretty much that's the main social media. Instagram, LinkedIn. I have got a TikTok channel. But I've also got a webinar on my website, which is webinar.makeyourlifecount.co.uk, that people can go to. There's a 45-minute webinar on there where I talk about having a positive mindset and how you do that. There's an immersion exercise in that and a free download, which introduces you to who you really are, which is very exciting. I did throw another freebie on there, and I can't remember what it is now, but there's also my transformation toolkit, which has got loads and loads of questions in there that you can ask yourself about focusing and directing where you want to be. And once you start to really understand how your mind works, so when I work with clients, I teach them how to use their mind. It's not you come to me for therapy, dump all your problems on me. Don't do that at all. I'm teaching you these techniques. I'm teaching you all of these various different things. And obviously, anybody that I know that I want to refer out to, obviously, I'll do that as well, especially around gut health, because that's been a massive part of my journey. Shilajit is like the killer thing for me. Shilajit is amazing. But yeah, so people can get in touch and just ask questions. I even do actually a 10-minute challenge. So that's on my website as well. So you can come and for free, come and do my 10-minute challenge. So if you've got a challenge in your life, I will see if we can reframe that within less than 10 minutes.
Wow, that's an offering. So we're going to I'll hope to pop as much as I can in the comments underneath this,
but it's
for easy access
on the website anyway. It's on the website anyway, so
yeah, but if it's there at the click of a button, then all the better. We'll see what we can do, people. But thank you so much, because it's just been, it's I can say we could be in for 2 hours,
but yeah, I know try to make it as concise as possible.
we probably will be at some point in the near future having another chat, and we may well dive a bit deeper and maybe do a follow on to this at some point soon. But for everybody who's watched this evening, thank you so much. If you do have any questions, you can pop them here. You can ask Marcus directly via his.
If you tag me in as well on this post, just tag me in.
Yeah, you are.
And then,
You are.
yeah.
Yeah, you're tagged already.
Awesome.
Job's a good one. Yeah, for anyone watching on replay, all the same. And anyone watching on replay, do pop #replay on so we know how many peeps we've managed to kind of just have a little bit of an informal introduction to Marcus and the wonderful world of clinical hypnotherapy. So thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening.
Bye.
Catch you soon. Bye
Bye.
bye.